So, about all that stuff I had you bring. Turns out I don't need it as much as I thought.
Funny how much clarity comes from an app.
Yeah. Along with a few other things, Aurea.
Wow.
Don't mention it.
Ah, good. We're all here.
Yes, we're here to talk about the stove.
Anyway, stove's not working. Campfire sucks by comparison. How are we fixing this?
Yes, please, let's talk about the stove.
How do we run out of coal anyway?
Sure. But then we ended...
I don't easily have the materials to I hate to admit it, but that was the...
Great! Temple.
If we're able to find coal, I will need a few materials.
Good. Excellent.
So I'll...
Go team!
I'm sorry. You saw through the eye from the...
I have experience dealing...
I'm serious.
No one could have predicted he would... that level of incompetence.
The eye is the highest position of
One we've been told stories of.
The more time we spend here, I allowed myself to be blinded by his type. Hey, mind if we talk somewhere?
Lead the way.
I won't be returning to expeditions. I've known for a while now, but I couldn't bring myself to admit it.
I thought you were recovering.
Not as well as I should be. That I got injured at all was a sign that I'm not as fast. I should count myself lucky. I'm not ready for this to end. Especially here, of all places. What kind of legacy is it to reach the Enclave only to sit by the fire?
But you've had an incredible...
I know, but it's not the same. And I thought if I found out who my father was, if he turned out to be some great weaver like my mother, it's silly.
Tell me.
I thought I could solidify my leg.
You're an incredible weaver in your own right. And if you had to pick you're everything I want.
That's very kind. Maybe
Is there anything I can do? I understand. I wish there was something I could do to help Aurea see herself the way I see her. Lane knows a thing or two about recording legacies. Lane, I was wondering if you could help me with...
What is it?
Well, it turns out Aurea's search for her father...
Crusades into one's lineage rarely are. She didn't find the missing piece of herself.
Yeah, that kind of sums it up. She knows she needs to retire.
Ah, isn't it strange?
Yeah.
We could certainly commemorate her career. I would suggest we personally... Would you interview them?
Sure. I can do...
Ask whatever you like, or some readers. Why don't I...
Me?
Of course. We'll need your input.
Before Aurea. But she takes passing on knowledge so...
Great. I'll transcribe... Take notes when you speak to the other...
You know, a lot of points struggle, and there's never been...
I know.
I'm sure it will. Now, what can I do to help?
We'll definitely highlight Ori's accomplishment.
Oh, there was this one time I had to, well...
So you stole her trousers?
It was wash day, and I was trying to... And all my clothes went up in flames. So I borrowed a pair from... Alas, I did not. I still have those trousers. And if I have to belt...
Thanks for sharing that.
Brynn, I love what you're doing for Oria. How can I help?
You've been in the Weaver Band the longest.
To be a point for as long as Oria, she's always been passionate about... Though, I think...
In what way?
Not all Weavers are in this for our collect... When Casman didn't work out as her replacement point, it meant a lot when she finally found...
Wow.
Happy to help.
I haven't known Oria for as long as the others, but I'd like to help with your project if...
Of course, Sev.
What do you want to know?
You said Oria has done...
After everything that's happened, until now, to just be accepted, she's given me a hug.
You'll always have one with us.
For the first time,
Thanks, Sev.
glad to be of service.
Your idea to commemorate Oria's career with Lane is lovely. How can I help?
What is Oria's most...
It's tough to choose. Oria had heard of a drake. She left on an expedition, well, gone for hours. We ate and drank like royalty for a fortnight. I don't know which memory is fonder. Or the look on her face when...
That's perfect.
My pleasure.
Great. I'll
need to ice my quip.
Let's hope she likes this.
She will.
What's going on?
We wanted to present the late... We all contributed. Though credit goes to...
I've titled it A True and What is...
We wanted to do something special. To commemorate your time as Point.
You didn't have to do all...
We did. You've done more for each of us time and...
No one is more deserving of a place in Weaver history.
So we took it upon ourselves to write you one.
As a thank you.
I don't know...
Lane, why don't you read...
Oria Silverbeak, as she came to be known, was born to Sharian Harpenay and Eugenius Osphine inside the Enclave just before the Surge.
Osphine.
Though she never knew her father, her mother hoped Oria would follow in her footsteps as a skilled enchantress within the Maida. But Oria decided to become a point, blazing her own trail. Something she would continue to do throughout her career, bigger and bolder each time. We'll let you read the rest on your own.
We hope this account will help you see yourself and your accomplishments the way we see you.
I'm at a loss. All I can say right now is... thank you.
That tree still ripe with inspiration, Lane?
Brynn, I was so moved by what you did for Oria.
Thank you.
But her father, Eugenius Osphine...
You do?
Yes. And I want you to make an offering for his grave. I can give you a key swatch to reach it.
Wait, you know where it is?
I do. And I'm sure Aurea would love to watch you visit.
Okay, but shouldn't we...
Trust me, this is something you should show her directly.
One of Auria's feathers would be beautiful as part of the offering for her father's grave. An offering for you, Junius. Time to talk to Arik. I've made an offering for Eugenius's grave.
Great. Here's the key swatch to his farm. That's where he was buried. I'll join Aurea at the scry when you arrive.
Are you sure you don't want to be the one to place the offering? This was your idea, after all.
It will be more meaningful for her if it's you. Trust me.
All right. Thank you for this.
What is this place?
Osphine Pastures. Your father's farm. I thought you'd want to see it for yourself.
My father lived here.
More than lived. He gave his blood, sweat, and tears for the Enclave here. Eugenius Osphine may not have a statue in Denevron for excellence in weaving or kissing the eye's arse, but he kept the surviving weavers afloat during the aftermath of the Surge.
I had no idea. can't stretch the scry any further.
After the surge, he only kept enough produce to take care of himself and his workers. The rest went to weavers across the Enclave, and his generosity led to many helping him in return.
I can't believe he did so much for the Enclave.
He was a true leader, if not in the most traditional way. A community of workers formed around him, including ex-points, who would transport his food across the Enclave in these caravans. Many of whom went on to form the Scouts as an organization that still exists within Cassidy's Hold today.
So that's how you know all this.
Before the arcs began malfunctioning, they were integral to farming. Many farmers refused to stop using them because of their efficiency, even at the risk of their farmhands being attacked. But your father scrapped his arcs as soon as he got wind of the first malfunction to keep his workers safe.
That can't have been an easy decision.
But he made it, anyway.
Everyone thought he was mad at the time, but in a few months, when the attacks became widespread, his forethought was recognized.
End of the lifeline, Brynn.
After the surge, aftershocks destroyed many farms, including this one. Tangles spread across the land, crops began to die. While other farmers abandoned their livelihood, Eugenius never did. He had to rebuild many times, but he weathered every storm.
Wow. My mother told me he was driven.
Of all his workers, Eugenius was said to be the first one in the field each morning and the last to leave at night.
He sounds a lot like you, Aurea. This looks like a wooden carving of your mother, Aurea.
Please, bring it back for me.
Of course. This must be your father's grave, Aurea. I'll place an offering here. It certainly won't be lonely. Are all these offerings for Eugenius, Eric? Some of the flowers are fresh.
The scouts continue to take care of his grave to this day, to honor all the sacrifices he made for the Enclave.
He must have been an incredible man.
This is so much more than I ever could have expected. Thank you for showing me, Eric. Truly. And Brynn, when you come back to camp, there's something I need to do. All right, everyone. It's no secret that my role in our band is changing. What each of you has done to help me find peace in that, and the time has come for being your point has been... I've loved every minute of... But... She's been doing the job since we got here, and...
Well deserved.
She's been exceptional.
Brynn, care to say a few words?
I wanted this role for so long that, truthfully, the band I got it for didn't matter to me. But you've all taught me that this role means nothing without good people to serve.
I'll be here every step of the way to ensure history remembers our persevering point.
I couldn't ask for someone better to pass the torch.
Thank you, Aurea.
You earned it. And I should have done it a while ago. It was just hard to let... What my father did for the... It's funny.
It sounds like he was the hero, but from where I'm standing...
Yes. My reaction to finding out his idea... It was about me. But perhaps and I can't help but wonder if...
Maybe that was a part of it.
It wasn't like she put pressure on me, but there were always unspoken expectations. I needed to perform. And I'm grateful to her for that. I wouldn't... But perhaps there's a cycle to break when it comes to how my family has defined its legacy.
I think that's beautiful.
You do?
Of course.
Me too.
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually not too far from Lucia's workshop. Isla dedicated her life to restoring the Arks. Darn's right. We will need to continue her research. But for now, what might she consider sacred for the Rite? A toy Archon. That's sweet. Do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Oh. Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's.
Could be useful.
Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her.
If that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
end of the lifeline, Brynn. That's as far as I can push the scry. That's I'm pulling you. Brace for it. That's as far as I can push the scry. That's as far as I can push the scry.
This place never fails to impress. Just imagine it before the veil went up. Wouldn't have had to scavenge for alchemically treated coal, at any rate. Sad to burn such a sweet toy. Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Brynn.
I'm sure Isla is.
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry. Something strange is afoot.
One never quite forgets.
Temple Cole taking you...
Unfortunately, yes. It was everywhere. I don't think I really stopped right...
Until you met the...
Yes.
It's been a strain on...
I'm sure everyone...
Need an ear?
But I find...
Worried if...
I suppose I am still...
Does she know that?
It's not something I want to burden her.
She's strong.
Right.
It's significantly easier to do a repair than... I'm going to go soft.
We could use some really It's not like her to run out of...
I don't know.
I think you both are.
Yes. And the moment I say...
You're...
It isn't.
He didn't have a great reaction. Maybe he...
You're...
I had a chance to run a test, and I would say our stove keeps the heat well. Burnt.
Dom's always been very good at treating...
Hardly. No,
Shh.
Oh?
Tarmakind uses exceptional...
I mean, yeah.
I finished Xavier's journals.
Nothing quite helps me.
You'd be...
Precisely.
Of course.
They must have kept record.
I really appreciate...
I performed the rite.
Thank you, Brynn.
It's not...
Enough! I know you owe Brynn, not only. None of which...
For my act, I know! I should have stayed. I could feel my regret.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to... It is I am so... You can spend the rest of your...
How?
Just... start by helping others.
It's too late for that, but... It's called the Ark of Verdant.
Lucia. Is there anything...
Please. Just leave.
Fine.
You deserve better, come to think of it.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Isla saw something. We can't let her death.
I wish I could help. That arc allowed you... If you're going to...
It's too great an
I need you to... I feel as even though...
Of course.
You... Let you inspire.
It was the least I...
Don't diminish.
You've got whatever form that...
For what it's worth.
By the way, it's a letter. I didn't read it.
I don't understand. Why...
It's okay.
Likewise.
My light. And I know your mother. For all her flaw, I am...
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Is there any chance our scry is degrading like the ones belonging to the Enclave?
I'm still investigating, but my initial reaction is that it doesn't feel the same.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, the writing is far more legible than Lucia's. And her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the Ark we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation. What was it for?
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted to tell me. But Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the Source. Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes. Yes! On my side, she was so close to a skip. Solar has the final design. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. This is the final key.
If we had built a...
She only made this discovery. Her research even theorizes that...
So she knew she...
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway.
We can't let it be in. So, then...
She suspected it was... You performed the rite of ashes.
Glad to hear it.
I'm sure Isla is at peace.
A religion.
Hardly. Pure ignorance. The prominence of the...
The Eye asked me...
Depends on the sect. Other times, if it's a prominent family, which the Stanolds seem to be, the ashes are housed in a family mausoleum. Tragic, of course. That a father must do this for his child instead of the other way around.
The rite I read mentioned shrouding the spindle in an eternal warmth. Is that in reference to an afterlife?
Yes. Although the Reformed sect do believe in an afterlife, it is featured more prominently in Orthodox Hallowpire beliefs. They are... and who...
I appreciate your...
Before you go, you could have just...
Okay, let's take that again. I'm sorry. I think...
I'm impressed.
A hard-won skill. When I first... His favorite trick was...
You've seemed pretty...
Yeah.
What's that?
The intersection between... There's a complete series of holes at the end.
And that helps.
Oh, yeah. Which can be exhausting. Few deep breaths, and Stanold can't touch me. Well, Except when he puts my people in danger with his ego.
My mum used to say and again.
Yes. Brynn,
Thanks.
Oria told me the story. Sounds like your last one. That's probably more relatable if...
No feeling like it. And there's this endless...
Sounds incredible. Think you'll go back?
That's an academic question. We've got no way out, but I'd like to stay a while. If things ever calm down.
So long as you're sure you'd be happy.
It's the Enclave. A whole generation of weavers has wished to be where and I happen to know this nice fellow.
At your complete service. All this time.
Sounds like you two had more...
Just reminds me.
Was there...
Just how much I appreciated her.
Oh, Brynn. Hi.
Were you crying? Are you okay?
Yes. The rite of ashes just got to me, that's all. The spindle and the axle only had such a brief time together.
It's awful. I can't imagine how she's feeling right now.
So much in life can be fleeting. It just makes you appreciate what a gift the time you have with someone is.
Here goes.
Good. Now move. We'll be ready. Good progress, Brynn. Smooth and steady.
It's looking a bit off.
That's normal. Just keep moving and you'll be fine. I've got you.
The bloom's definitely a bit dry looking.
This is a challenging distance to cover. Just keep at it.
This flower is not looking good, folks.
Big push. She's got...
Did we?
Yes. Oh, we're good. Excellent work, everyone. We'll get this over to Solar, Brynn.
Before you ask, the answer...
About the scries? You...
Of course I know. In this role, I can't afford... And while well-meaning, Arakim is about as stealth... Which brings me to my question. Why are you here, and not him?
Khan Arteme, you know Kenrick's temper as well as anyone. How many times did Arakim get punished for daring to step out of line? He has incredible intentions, and will do anything to help your people. But you need to build his trust and confidence.
Let me come again to the point. Why you, and not Arakim?
Honestly, I don't think he knows how to ask.
It's as simple as him asking me. I am not Stanild.
No, but you have to prove that to Arik as much as he has to prove himself to you. That was the lesson I learned from Oria. The best leaders are mentors and meet their people halfway. That's what Arik needs from you.
An interesting point. I suppose he did not receive much. Very well. You have... And fair winds.
You certainly were emergent.
What did we learn about the scries, fellas?
Nothing good,
You know how all enchanted things use woven pattern? Well, the scries...
Some sort of corruption.
Not exactly. More like elements had fused.
I take it that's not...
Darm's never seen it. And
Even more worrying is that the Mirian's bloom... Normally there is a very rote set of steps. But it took Lane and I several tries to find the proper alchemic ratios to make it useful.
And then we have the Spitfires, acting more aggressive than normal, nesting in odd places. Putting it all together, we're seeing a worrying pattern of unexplained changes.
Ones that would be hard to notice if...
Huh.
Darm and I have been talking...
I'll leave... Ooh, I was told time was of the...
Yeah, but you made it look easy. Maybe someday you could, give classes to the novice scouts.
I can't imagine your people really need classes in how to run.
Well, you make it look effortless.
I've had people note that training in the mountain air probably helps.
I've read about that, but... Well, not a lot of... But yes, breathing for distant... Darm and I have been running down the mystery of our We've got a working hypothesis.
What's led you to the...
Darm's been digging into the... Lane used a few left... You really have an...
You're right on top...
I have been taking notes from...
I do, don't I? As long as I don't have to do any more...
Worse. We think the source of the...
Our enchant...
Everything. And if that pattern...
You think we're...
Obviously, tangles are inherent... Could too much magic...
Spirits.
You've been collecting resonance for what he needs, then?
Right.
Hey, you.
Really well.
Still reeling a little. Forces me to be up all day.
Darm uses some kind of sleep aid.
Oh, I can stay up past noon regular.
To be fair, I think that's just Darm. Fueled by his love of enchantment and solar in equal measure. The scouts probably appreciate you being a... You must have a day watch.
Yes, but I'll talk to Lane.
It certainly is just...
Any sign of our scry?
None, but it will have to watch close.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't... never mind. I suppose it...
It wasn't fun, I can tell you that.
It's Sev.
Oh?
I didn't have time to process. Logically, I understand. I know he had no choice.
That's a tough one.
It reminded me again of Udea. The secrets, the lies, the subterfuge. Every fibre of my being is
All right. It's clear that setting up... You need a distraction.
I...
The Axel must be overwhelmed.
I'm...
Oh, no.
An outing with you never...
You'd better believe...
I've been running...
You didn't need it all for...
No, thankfully. It does speak...
Could it just have been that one?
Perhaps.
Brynn. And Lane? To what do I owe the pleasure?
We're hoping that there's something... Or rather...
I'm not sure I follow.
I've been...
Huh.
So we're here to focus on problems.
That is...
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
We're here to help.
Right. Arakim has been nagging. Now that I'm... What I'm lacking to make...
I've already...
Dangerous too, one would...
The most interesting...
It is a reminder that...
Exactly. Well, it was only one area that was particular.
I assume you refer to the arcade...
Yeah. It was on... I can't imagine how... While exploring where the Archons seem big when I'm...
Fascinating.
Anyway, they're...
Not quite.
I believe I may have a potion that will maintain... I don't quite have the...
That's wonderful news. That said...
A fair stipulation. Fighting an Archon that relies on...
You know I'm always up for a challenge.
I have no doubt.
Well then.
Hey y'all, this looks like a good time to stop here. On the next episode, we will go ahead and take on Archon with her and finish up those quests. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.